Welcome to the Green Grape Sessions. This video is not targeted at children. We will return to normal scheduled programming in other videos. Join us live at mixer.com/Midgard. Welcome to the GGS News! The first GGS News of 2020. Because hindsight is 2020. Sorry. Anyway, yes, today is the GGS News. Fake news, real news, all sorts of news, clan news, all sorts, just news. And here we see what is the upcoming newsroom. Isn't it fancy? We have seats, we have a desk, we have stuff and things and such. Today we're going to be covering topics from Wombats, Pringles, carrots, corns, drones, the scourge of selfies, and almond milk.
You heard it right, folks.
I thought we'd start with something a little light-hearted, a little happier. Wombats are more humane than humans. With the current situation in the Oz down under Australia place and wildfires and such and things, which is a terrible situation. Wombats are not just currently allowing other creatures to join them in their burrows deep underground to avoid the wildfires. Wombats are actively herding creatures into their burrows. Right? They're actively trying to get creatures to get into their burrows to stay safe. They're herding them in. Like, that's pretty wild for a wild creature to do that, you know what I mean? Carrying on the talk about wildfires in Australia, Oz, land of Oz. I'd like you all at home to think for a moment. What do you think would happen if you dropped a carrot from, say, 800 feet in the air?
What do you think, Aegis?
Yeah.
Do you think it would just gently float to the ground like a feather? Do you think it would, fall really fast and then as it got close to the ground, slow down, chill out, and just kind of settle calmly in the hands of a waiting wallaby? Or do you think it would drop like a motherfucking bullet? Possibly impaling any creatures unlucky enough to be standing underneath. Well,
hello, I was impaled by a carrot.
Yeah, the Australians, in their infinite wisdom, who the Australian PM is currently saying, oh yeah, climate change isn't real, except for the fact you're having the worst wildfires Australia's ever seen, linked to increased temperatures caused by man-made fucking climate change, you moron. But anyway, in their infinite wisdom, the Australian government has decided we know how we can protect some wallabies. What we're going to do is we're going to fly over the top of the wallabies and drop carrots and sweet potatoes out of a helicopter onto the waiting wallabies below. Oh, they'll be so happy. Yeah, so happy.
Imagine being bludgeoned to death by your dinner.
Yeah. Yeah, brilliant. Oh, look, the sky is falling. Fuck.
I don't think I'm hungry anymore.
So these motherfucking humans tried to burn us to death, and now they're trying to pelt us to death with fucking hard vegetables.
So, Doc, tell me how he died.
What?
He died by a turnip to the face.
Yeah. I mean, and they've got film footage of these fucking Australian people going, oh, this is brilliant. Let's just chuck all these carrots out of this helicopter. It won't possibly do any damage to anything waiting below. Come on, it'll be a load of fun. Bonza, mate. Bonza! Like, are you fucking... Oh, my God. Talking about things that humans do that are fucking retarded. Selfies.
Oh God, don't get me started on selfies. Jesus fucking Christ! Why on earth?
I'm going to just hang myself over this cliff. Oh, and let me take a selfie while I'm drunk. Oh, look, aren't I so stylish? If
I
you
wonder
think,
if she made a duck face before she hit the ground.
yeah, duck face. Now, I'm sorry. I feel sorry for her family because the situation was awful. I mean, this girl in Australia goes out on a Friday night, gets fucking shit-faced. Her friends and her decide to climb a fence at the edge of a cliff. Climb a fence, you know, to a famous selfie spot where in 2017 someone fell to their death taking a selfie, which is why they put the fucking fence there in the first place, right? This girl, fucking shit-faced on a Friday night. You know, Saturday morning they decide, oh, wouldn't it be cool to see the sunrise? That, okay, fair enough. Yes, would be awesome to watch the sunrise, you know. But you don't then pull out your selfie stick and back over the edge while you're still fucking shit-faced and try and take a selfie over the edge of a cliff, you know. But yeah, I feel sorry for her family. I don't feel sorry for her. You know, one less airhead. I know it's harsh, but one less airhead. Bye. You know, but the thing that's really harsh is that the friends she was with, you know, yeah, oh, she's fallen over the cliff. All right, let's quickly call the fire brigade. Get them to come out and search and rescue and save her. You know, body found at 10:30 a.m. on Saturday morning. Okay, so 6:30 she falls in. 10:30 they find her dead body. The friends then went about their daily business. Went about their happy little lives, taking selfies of each other and, you know, hey, look, this
So,
is us with the emergency services.
These
They-
people were supposed to be her friends.
Yeah. By Sunday, her family is frantically posting on all her social media outlets. I'm sure Instagram was one of those. And you damn well know her friends are fucking following her on fucking Instagram. Right? So her family is desperately posting on her social media outlets. Has anybody seen her? Does anybody know where she is? We haven't heard from her in 2 days. What's going on? Right? It takes till Monday morning before a family member who lives in Australia goes to where she was and finds out that she's dead and informs the rest of the family on Monday morning. So these friends sat on that all of Saturday, all of Sunday, and some of Monday morning, and not once notified the family.
I bet you they probably took photos of her when she landed on the ground. And
Oh,
they
that
were
wouldn't surprise me.
probably
No,
absolutely rat-ass
no.
drunk.
They probably took fucking selfies with the search and rescue crew in the
Yeah.
background. Like, hey, look,
Oh,
they're
yeah.
looking for Maddie. They found Maddie. You know. I mean, Jesus fucking Christ. People, stop fucking taking selfies. Seriously. Stop being so self-obsessed. You don't need pictures of yourself. You know what you look like. There are fucking mirrors. Like, come fuck on, people.
Trust me, there's not very many people who are that interested in you.
Yeah. There's not many people interested in your fucking face. Talking about people who just boggle my mind. Vegans, for years, have been saying how wonderful they are because they're saving the universe by not drinking cow's milk and by eating almond milk. Well, almond milk, bees are essential to the functioning of America's titanic almond industry. And billions of bees are dying because of it. You know.
So vegans, please tell me how you are saving Earth as we know it,
Yeah.
and the animal population, because of you. Vast numbers of bees are dying because they're being overworked, they are getting ill
And
far quicker, and the stress levels are through the roof.
yeah, and they're sprayed with fucking pesticides and fucking other diseases. They're getting shipped from place to place, which we already know causes damage to bees' immune systems.
Oh, and the stress as well.
Yeah,
So that
and
they're
stress.
hit by 2 factors, plus then you've got the varroa mite as well.
Yeah, you got the varroa mite on top of that, which of course gets spread from fucking colony to colony as you're shifting these colonies around the country. Yeah, so Aegis, what was it? Eat a vegan, save the world. Wasn't it you said?
Eat a vegan, save the world.
Yeah, eat a vegan, save the world, people. Eat a vegan, save the world.
If you don't want to eat meat, go vegetarian.
Yeah, by all means. Eat in moderation. How about you eat in moderation instead of eating just fucking tons of stupid foods? Jesus fucking Christ. Hello, Mr. Jail, by the way. Welcome to the...
Sorry, we're just having green grape news.
Yeah,
so.
we're just finishing green grape news. Yeah. In other news, the US has decided that it may permanently ground its civilian drone program over fears that the drones that, instead of making themselves, that they asked the Chinese to make, might be, used by the Chinese as remote surveillance on the American population. So they're just going to cancel all civilian drones. We're not having a civilian drone program. Nope, not doing that. We're not doing that. We've already bought all these drones from China. We're just not going to use them. We're just going to keep them, throw them in a landfill somewhere. That's a good idea. Or you could build your own. Oh no, we couldn't do that because we wasted all the money buying the Chinese ones. Did you not think about that before you bought the drones? Look, a badger. Ah, okay. What?
Badger!
What? I mean, when deciding to procure something for your country, to make your country, a better place through whatever means. I mean, they're talking about using them for surveying the land, for what do they call it? Where they map out locations for maps.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot the name of it. It's right at the tip of my tongue. Not cartography. It's they do like it is cartography, but it's there's a specific one they do for civil maps where they get the people and they ordnance survey.
That was it, yeah, ordnance.
Yeah, ordnance survey. So they're talking about, mapping terrain, ordnance survey, tracking resources, keeping track of traffic and all that sort of stuff. Which are all perfectly reasonable uses for drones, I suppose. Surveillance of your people. That's what it's really about. But, they're without any evidence that the Chinese are doing it. Because at this point, they're just coming up with stuff. The Chinese, they copied our design of the stealth bomber, and George Bush went, yes, we should go to war with them because they copied the design of the stealth bomber. And the Chinese said, you sent us the plans. We're building them for you. What did you think we were going to do with them? At this point, it's kind of ridiculous, But anyway, the US's Interior Department has decided to halt the civilian drone program permanently, which is crazy because,
All I can think of drones right now is the Amazon drones, the ones that deliver the parcel at the front door and don't tell anybody that there's a parcel waiting for them.
Let me just drop this.
The person that's supposed to be getting the parcel, they've been told it's been delivered, but there's nothing there.
Yeah. Oh no,
some fuckers chavved it.
No, well that's the thing. I don't understand. Like you guys in the US, when you get an Amazon delivery, a lot of your delivery drivers will just leave it outside your front door, right?
Yeah, those assholes fucking just chuck it on my front door and leave.
Like, what the fuck? Amazon in the UK are not allowed to do that. They are not allowed to do that. They have to get someone to sign for that parcel.
Unless it is, unless they are told it has to be signed for. Yep.
Yeah.
Just leave it.
They can just Wow.
Yeah, it's got to have the
Whoever the
actual
sender
thing
is
on it saying.
has to say it must be signed for.
Oh, wow. No, in the UK, you've got to sign for everything. Like if something is delivered, anything above letter sized that can't fit through your letterbox must be signed for. It's to protect both the consumer and the sender. Because if you've signed for it, you can't then turn around to them and say, "Hey, we never received that." But anyway, yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. I suppose it just seems crazy to me. Maybe if we just had stuff left for us, maybe it would be okay. But yeah, I never understood that. That's a weird one. Yeah. Anyway, what else was there? That was the drones. We've done the Scourge of the Selfies, the Almond milk, the Wombats, the Pringles, carrots. Ah, yes. I have one final piece of news, fake news. Totally not fake news. From a news website that I just invented. That I found. That is, a fair warning to all the vegans and vegetarians out there. You got all these Impossible Burgers and Corn and, all these vegetarian places. Well, it turns out there is a dark side to this. In 1985, a wonder food was officially announced in the UK, a delicious alternative to meat that was not only healthier for you but environmentally sound. Since its official release to the public, this company has gone from strength to strength. Rank Hovis McDougall, yes, a real company. And Imperial Chemical Industries, yes, also a real company, even though it sounds like something out of Resident Evil, collaborated on the production of what they claim is a mycoprotein extracted from the fungus Fusarium venenatum, probably not how it's pronounced. They commercially branded this wonder food as Quorn, Quorn, not corn, under the operating name of Marlow Foods. According to the company, Quorn is made from the soil mold Fusarium venenatum, strain PTA 2684. Seriously, it's on their wiki. The fungus is grown in continually oxygenated water in large, otherwise sterile, fermentation tanks. Glucose is added as a food for the fungus, as are vitamins and minerals to improve the food value of the product. The resulting mycoprotein is then extracted and heat treated to remove excess levels of RNA and DNA, in case we turn into mushrooms. The product is then dried and mixed with egg album, which acts as a binder. This is then textured and then formed into the final products, either mince, chicken breast, meatballs, or even turkey roasts, each flavoured with spices to imitate the imitated meat products. This explanation of the process of producing corn sits well with the ethical and moral compasses of those that refuse to eat meat or are unable to. Or just find it cheaper, because corn's much, much cheaper than real meat over here. Anyway, however, it has come to light through recent investigative journalists and scientists once close to the original research teams that in fact corn is based off of mammalian base matter. One scientist close to the original team, who refuses to be named under fear of assassination, has presented us with the following account of how corn is really made. First, the tanks are filled with mammalian base matter. This is boiled to remove any of the diseases. These tanks are then left to sit and cool for a total of 18 hours. The entire contents are then crushed and pureed to form a nutrient-rich bath in which the Fusarium venenatum is introduced. This produces the mycoproteins necessary in the production of corn. However, the original nutrient bath is not wasted at this point. It is repurposed into animal feed or organic plant feed, while the small sample of the original bath is kept for flavouring purposes. We handed our findings over to several labs in the US and around the world to verify these claims, with only one lab willing to comment, saying the following: "This is pretty shocking stuff for a lifelong vegetarian to swallow. But the real shocker is yet to come. The source of this mammalian material is you and me," says Professor Ian Ambrose Mark, somebody, a forensic food specialist based out of Turkmenistan Institute of Technology. He goes on to outline that the reason for boiling the mycoprotein is to hide the original DNA profiles rather than prevent gout, as claimed by Marlow Foods. That's seriously why they say they boil it, is to prevent gout. He goes on to show that with modern forensics, it's possible to map where these bodies come from. He has managed to prove the majority of the corn produced throughout the Western world comes from the many conflict sites around the world, including Iraq, Syria, Palestine, the Congo, your local football team. These ties with recent revelations that a subsidiary of Milo Foods is closely linked with many weapons manufacturers around the world, including the American and Russian military. Major Nelson, not his real name, and totally in no way related to the person who works for Xbox, says, I have seen that the black suit guys take over the field ops base. They hand us all sorts of weaponized chemical agents and then deal with the bodies so as not to raise questions. The way they talk and act, it scares even the hardliner mercs we come across in the field, in the private security firms. Where these guys go, the bodies pile up, and then they disappear like they were never there. Disturbingly, this does not seem to be the only source of bodies for the corn machine. Recent whistleblower files may come to light suggesting that as the demand for corn has risen, so has the need for more base material. One source seems to be outbreaks, diseases that are uncommon or almost extinct, suddenly making huge comebacks. One example recently is the Ebola outbreaks in Africa. One Médecins Sans Frontières doctor who refused to give their name approached us saying, I've had enough of these black suit guys coming in, offering all sorts of deals and sweeteners just to keep our heads down. Thing is, you turn them down, you disappear. Further to this, we have uncovered that the recent rise in the anti-vaxxers movement can be directly linked to Marlow Foods' subsidiary called Norbit's plc, and that the original doctor at the centre of the anti-vaxxers movement was actually one of Marlow Foods' company directors in the early 90s. In our most recent startling discovery, we have found that other billionaires around the world are in fact all working for Marlow Foods. Elon Musk, in a moment of lapsed decision-making, perhaps precipitated by the smoking of an illicit substance, has upset the established billionaire employees of Marlow Foods by admitting that the design of Tesla's new truck was in fact to increase the number of deaths from road traffic accidents, while also tenderizing the corpses to allow for quicker food processing. A recent leak of emails between Mr. Musk and the head of the Amazon group, Jeff Bezos, has revealed that although Musk may be able to pretend that it was all a joke, they're taking the admission very seriously. But that Musk's own attempts to establish off-world production sites on Mars are one of the only things keeping him from becoming base material, like Jeffrey Epstein earlier last year. This is a breaking story. More information is coming out every day. We should keep adding to this article as more information comes to light. That is from the new news, totally reliable news website, realnews.ac.co.uk.com. Yeah, so there you go. Corn is people. Well, anyway. So, anybody else have any news articles?
Green.
Yeah, Silent Green. Corn is people. At this point, I wouldn't care if it was, to be honest. There's too many people as it is. Fuck. It's about time we started to look into ourselves for food sources.
Talking about food sources, please do not feed ducks any bread.
Yeah.
Because it actually swells up in their stomach and causing them major discomfort
and death.
And it causes algae to bloom in the water, which is deadly for fish.
Yep.
So if you are going to feed ducks, feed them duckweed.
Algae is deadly for fish.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, there are certain types of algae that are deadly for fish. Yeah. That are usually kept under control by environmental factors, but with climate warming and all that shit, these toxic algae blooms are going wild. The first big one was in Australia. What was it? A billion fish.
I just didn't ever heard that one before.
Yeah.
Because every fucking pond I've ever been to is covered with algae.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, apparently there's been toxic blooms in Australia. What was it, 2017?
Yeah. So as long as if you're going to go and feed ducks, feed them duckweed.
Yeah, duckweed. Feed them.
Ducks anyway.
Seeds.
Small children.
Yeah. Small children are the best. Because it helps their feather. Helps the ducks' feathers to bloom and look beautifully crimson.
Yeah, preferably fat children. Because the extra fats help through the winter months.
Preferably noisy children.
Yeah, noisy fat children. Yeah.
Why not noisy skinny children?
They've got less meat on them.
Are you going to give them to the dags?
Yeah, yeah. The skinny children are good for wolves.
Yeah,
yeah. It gives them something to chew on.
And we need an increased wolf population.
Yeah. But yes. So that was Green Grape News. That's the news section of Green Grape News over and done with. In Clan News, merch store. Shameless plug.
Can you tell us where we can get merch from? Which,
it's
websites?
in the description. Literally, if you look in the description below, there's 3 websites.
But sometimes, verbally.
I don't know the website off by hand. I'm not that invested in this shit. No, it's.
I heard that hit.
Yeah. Yes, see, proof, abuse.
Do it more.
Do it more.
That's just foreplay.
Yeah.
If you want to abuse Eli, I'm not making you any more teas ever again.
It's only 5 play because you use your hand. Eli doesn't have to.
I don't get it.
Yeah. If you want to keep the wheels greased and turning at Midgard, feel free to buy some merch or drop a donation at teespring.com/stores Guardians of Midgard /Guardians of Midgard. Or there's the Streamlabs store, which is /Clan Midgard /merch. Or there's a PayPal pool. As I say, links in the description below. And you can totally see my hands pointing. You can totally see, because I've got a video camera set up. And
I can see him pointing.
I got something to bring up while we're in here. If anybody's ever listening and you're playing in a group, remember this. Over there is not a direction, and you don't have to whisper because they can't fucking hear you.
100% agree with this. 100% agree with this.
Oh, yes.
We was playing earlier, and I've said this to Eli before. I was like, I can't hear you. You're whispering. He's like, I know. Real started doing the same goddamn thing. Me and Eli were whispering to each other, and it's like, I don't know what the fuck is going on. I can't hear y'all. They're over there.
I can't help it.
Hear you?
I can't help it.
I just can't say it anymore. I'm just like, I can't hear you. That's all I say anymore. Is I can't hear you.
Also, something else to add to the whole team play thing.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to be in a team, play as a team. Don't go wandering off on your
Yeah,
own.
don't just decide, hey, let's just... shiny. Oh, what's that? You guys are assaulting these guys on the hill. Let me just go and loot these buildings while you're doing that. It's fine. It's only a team of 4.
I do what I want.
It wasn't just today. Real was acting just like we bitch about.
That's
you
exactly
all the time.
what Eli said.
Yeah.
I mean,
this is the first thing I said.
we're engaging motherfuckers, and he's like, "There's a scope over here."
I love you guys. But...
I wasn't going any particular people. It was just in general. I know.
Yeah.
I mean,
also,
like, I'm talking about you.
Honestly, you can't bitch at Aegis if Real's gonna do the same fucking thing.
Like,
I mean, and Real bitches about that, about Aegis doing this, and then today he pulls. And it wasn't just one game. I mean, it was
fucking 4 games on the trot.
The very last game, I threw the grenade just because I was done to get their attention. We're trying to get in the blue. It was a long way. It was no one's. I mean, we didn't have health. We really didn't. I mean, it was just one of those things.
Yeah.
Real's running Eli into the circle, and it's like, cool. And he gets killed. He comes back and gets me, and then takes the same exact fucking line that just got Eli killed. And that's. I mean, I made the statement. So I'm just confused why you would drive back the same fucking thing. That's all I said.
Yeah.
I remember that. Yeah.
Well, the thing was that, like, he's driving me into the circle. There's a building ahead of us. I'm like, okay, he's going to cut the engine so I can, get in safely, and then he's going to turn around and drive off, and so I can hide somewhere. No, not only does he just drop me off in the fucking middle of an open field, right? Like, no cover anywhere, but he doesn't turn the engine off. And then he turns around, drives off, and I'm stood there in the middle of this open field and instantly get shot by a car. I'm like, well, there's...
Is this going on Green Grapes?
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
Yes, it
hopefully he watches
is.
it tomorrow, and he'll be like, Mario talking shit.
Like, I fucked up a couple of times earlier. You know, I will fucking hold my hand up. I fucked up when you guys called in that care package and that BDRM. I'd seen that you were at the warehouse next to me, and I was like, right, okay, I've got time to fuck around and do some attachments and stuff before we go and get those attachments. Before we go and get the crates and stuff. And so I'm in my inventory, and then you guys started getting shot at, and I'm like, fuck. Jump out my inventory and start sprinting. Then realize you're fucking miles away. You're on the other side of the fucking warehouse. I'm like, shit. I should have been paying attention, you know. And like, I'll hold my hand up. I should have been fucking paying attention and seeing those guys coming. But there were so many fucking times where, like, you and me, we were like, all right, this guy's over here, this guy's here, yeah, they're at 310, they're here, they're there. And we're like, right, okay, should we push them? Like, yeah, sure, let's push them. Okay, cool. Pushing up to the fucking hill, getting up to the top of the hill, guy comes out of nowhere, kills Jail. Fuck! I open up on the guy, his team fucking descends on me, kills me. I'm like, okay, BHC's going to come in and save the day. Turn around. He's not even on the same fucking hill as us. He's in a fucking building looting. I'm like, oh, fuck it. Fuck it. Yeah, if I'd known it was 2-on-4, I wouldn't have suggested pushing. Fuck. Oh, never mind. Never mind. We had some shitty fucking runs, though, with not getting healing. That was ridiculous. Like, fucking ran half the map ages. There was one map we ran literally half the fucking map. And we were finding maybe one lot of bandages to split between us. It was just fucking... It was like we looted an entire town and had, 15 band-aids, 2 first aids, and 2 energy drinks between us. It was like, what the fuck? At one point, Jail turns around and says, okay, like, what healing have you got? And I'm like, nothing. I literally have nothing. It was like, oh.
There's nothing here for me.
There is nothing. I have nothing. I have hit 6 buildings and have nothing. Not a single piece of fucking healing.
Not even a sausage.
Oh, funny. But anyway. Yes, as I say, feel free to go to the merch store if thou wishes. If you see, shameless plug. Also, there will be a new Atmosphere Warlords book in the next coming month or 2. I will be starting a Green Grape reads sessions at some point for some of the stories that I've got. Some of the Atmosphere Warlords series. If there's any news articles that you want read on GGS News, if there's any news that you want read on GGS News, if you have any fake news stories you want read on GGS News, or you have any clan announcements or anything like that, feel free to let us know. And next Sunday, there will be a new GGS news, and you will be able to have it read. Until then, see you next time. Peace.
See you later.
Don't touch me there!